So the last set of commands, show chassis, show system, we can run them with impunity and not worry about any negative effects on the box. It's just us monitoring the state of the system. This next set of commands we need to be a little bit more careful with. Stuff beginning with the request keyword generally has potentially some serious impact on the box. I mean, if we start out at the top, you don't get much more serious than request system halt. If you want to remove power from a system, it is definitely recommended that you request system halt first. This is giving the operating system heads up Junos was going to run away, shut down all of its software processes, gracefully drop all of its neighbors, turn off every process running in the box, and eventually just end up sitting there humming with power, doing absolutely nothing until we give it a reboot. Now that is, for the majority of systems, the way that we have to shut the box down. Why? Because we're worried if you just simply yank the power that you're going to potentially interrupt a write to disk of something critical, like a configuration file. You'd be very unlucky. You're not going to break the box physically, but it wouldn't be good if we rebooted with a corrupt config file at that point. A small number of the lower end enterprise boxes, particularly on the DC side of things, top of rack switches and so on, they also have the ability to support the command request system power off. This effectively does the same thing as request system halt, but after it's finished halting all software, actually trips a soft configurable or a soft controllable power relay and turns the power off as well. The majority of power supplies on Juniper routers, SRXs, QFXs and so on, they're actually mechanical. So you halt the system and then somebody unplugs it or toggles the physical power switch. So that's obviously big system impact if we go down that road. Request system software add and then some Juniper package name would also be quite drastic, wouldn't it? This is you having uploaded some Juniper package tard and zip file to the system, so FTP'd, SCP'd, and now you're requesting the system perform a software upgrade. We'll look more at this later, but this command would not reboot the system. We could add an optional reboot keyword here, but what we're really saying is prepare the system to run on a new version of code, if various health checks and syntax validations have passed. But that won't happen until after this command completes and we reboot the system. So that's again pretty drastic stuff. So maybe more standard stuff. Maybe you've got a device in operation that's having a problem on its master RE. Maybe you want to switch over to your backup RE. So request chassis routing engine master switch. Maybe you're doing that because of problems. Maybe you're doing that as part of an upgrade process when you've got dual REs within a system. Or maybe you just want to take a line card down. If you want to restart a line card, you can request chassis FBC slot number. So here it says slot X, but slot 0, slot 3. And that restart keyword could be restart, could be offline, could be online. This is just us toggling, the state of that particular line card in the box. The last couple of commands here are kind of interesting, and these are actually not dangerous or disruptive. So if you do request system config rescue save or configuration rescue save, what you're doing is you're asking the box to take a copy of the current active configuration and save it as a special rescue config. Think of it as the rescue rollback file, if you like. Now, normal rollback files are going to eventually get thrown away in the bit bucket. Every time we commit, we push our rollback files down the rollback stack until eventually it's too old and we throw it away. The rescue configuration is never thrown away. If we've saved it, it sits there. Maybe at some point in the future, we'll, by software, go into config mode and issue a rollback rescue command. This could be a way to get back to a known to be good state. That's interesting, but maybe not super cool. More interesting, I think, is on some of the smaller devices, we actually have a rescue button. We could ask users on site, so remote folks who are not necessarily networking people, to go and find our small branch office device somewhere and go and hold this button down for a slow count to 5 and trigger a load and commit of that rescue configuration. Get us back to some basic known to be good state, just enough maybe for me to SSH in and figure out whatever went wrong with that system. And they also show us here as well that we can clear a rescue config if we swap that last save keyword with a delete. Pretty cool stuff.